Welcome, everyone. My name is Stephanie Ivick. I'm the Content Marketing Manager here at ELB Learning, formerly known as eLearning Brothers. Today, we have a great session on building accessible games in LECTORA, but first, I'll go over a few housekeeping items. This session is being recorded. You'll receive an email with a link to the recording tomorrow, and that will also go on our blog and YouTube. Closed captions are enabled. You can choose to turn those on for yourself using the live transcript button at the bottom of your Zoom window. Throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, feel free to put those in the Q&A panel. We also have live chat, so feel free to say hello, tell us where you're tuning in from, let us know how things are going. Joining me today, we have Troy Ferguson. He's our Senior Product Manager, and he's going to show you a little bit about our Mountain Panic accessible adventure game in LECTORA. So without further ado, Troy, I'll let you take it away.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Stephanie. Hello, everybody. Oh, and I already started off with an so I already feel like the judgment's already coming in. So I'm going to try and get us through this, but a little bit about me. I'm new to ELB Learning. I've been here a little bit over 7 weeks. And in my short time here, I've been able to see a lot of different things, and one of that being LECTORA. LECTORA was introduced to me about 11 years ago when I was a first-time L&D professional, and I want to get this started here. First-time L&D professional, and got into my first L&D team for being in a field rep and being in the field in sales. And so one of the things that I was tasked with learning, I was tasked with teaching our team the new CRM company-wide. And one of those things was the way we make e-learning at that time was through LECTORA. We had a design team member there, and she was fantastic and showed me all the ins and outs of LECTORA. But then she eventually ended up leaving. And so, it brings me into this, a tale as old as time. We've all know that this is how we get learning requests, when they come in, when it comes to accessibility. Hey, we've got an upcoming training initiative, and we want to get your thoughts on how we can make it a web accessible course for everyone. So just by maybe response in the chat here, how often does that happen, if ever, when you're getting a chance to build the course for a department or a team?
All right, you can pop in the chat right there or the questions panel. Let us know how often companies ask you your thoughts on making an accessible course. I'm going to guess the answer is not very often.
And that was the thing that came up for me and in one of our scrums and being a part of this new team was, well, how often do you really get asked, like, can you make me an accessible course? And there, we'll get into it here as we go through, but there's some reasons for the, I guess what stopped me was just trepidation. So more often than not, the story goes, something urgent comes in or it's been identified with the team. The product is already under development and it's ready to roll out in the next couple of weeks. And then if you're like me, you've been on the other end of that email where it's, well, how are we going to train people on how to use this? And so maybe 2 weeks out from the go live date, you and the team turn around a fantastic training path. Everything's put in place. You deploy it out to the masses. So, it's high fives and handshakes all around. And then by the maybe the 6th week in or something, you get, your meeting with legal comes around. It's like, hey, we want to do an audit on our accessibility with training. And if you're like me, it's this kind of reaction of, I didn't even think about how I can make this training more accessible. And so then when that sets in and the inevitable panic and, dread sets in that I'm a terrible person, how could I not have thought of these things? You get into, okay, well, what is WCAG and what is web accessibility. And I've got some great resources here that within the last 7 weeks of being a part of ELB learning and really seeing the focus that LECTORA has on accessibility, that's what set me on my path to learning the tool even more. Because what I didn't mention in the gap there from 11 years ago when I was taught this tool to 11 years in between of being an LMS administrator and a content creator, I didn't use LECTORA a whole lot after she left because, like we said before, it's never a good time when you're coming into, you never get those instances where it's like, hey, let's take the time. What can we do here? It's the plan is in place. The product is developed. We need to get these people trained ASAP. And so with that, you just go for the easiest thing, whether it's a PowerPoint or something like this. You really don't take the time. You don't think about, well, how can I make this training more accessible to everybody? And that's something that I've really found has helped me learn the tools. LECTORA does that very well. And so you can see here, accessibility involves creation of online learning experiences that within which as many people as possible can participate. One of the things that used to really scare me was there's no way I can read through all of this. I can't cover all of it. How do I make a training that covers everything? And going through more of this book here by Chris Paxton and Diane Elkins that I've noted there. And then also too, just the WCAG site itself is very helpful in getting you to understand or helping you understand what the main objective is. And so with that, something else that I found was LECTORA has a template that already has a lot of these features or a lot of these updates that you can add to your training, or you can use this as a template to help you better understand that making the training accessible isn't something that's a 10-month process, and it's not something that you've got to get a law degree for, or you got to be specially certified. When you're just an L&D professional, a content creator that needs to make something that can benefit everybody, this gives you the opportunity to do that. And it's something that Bill Milstead and I have talked about. Bill's been on this a lot of times before, but it's just getting to the wow faster. And with that, being able to say, I can go from never having made or never having focused on making a web accessible training to, from download to maybe some edits, some tweaks on my content to publishing within, a couple of hours is incredible to me, going from 0 to 100. So that's where I really want to focus. And the big secret I learned, and if you guys really, if you listen closely and put your head next to your speakers, no one's looking, no one's watching. I'm just going to get a drink, but there's a secret to all of it that I just had to keep telling myself, is that you too can make accessible content. It is not something that should feel like it's overwhelming to you or something you can't accomplish. It's very easy to do, and we'll go through that. So what we're going to do today, import Mountain Panic in LD or LECTORA desktop. We're going to set our WCAG settings. We're going to go over some of the key things that it does, like skip nav, reading in tab order, and hidden text. We're going to run the accessibility checker, which is another fantastic tool to make sure that, okay, well, I think I did the right thing. Is it really accessible enough? We'll go through that. It shows you how to directly fix your errors very quickly. And then we'll publish. So having said that, I'll stop for a second. And are there any questions?
No questions so far. I'm sure as we get more into the template, there will be.
Right. And I saw Christy's comment there, being asked for more game-related learning, and that's it. And it's hard, Christy, when you've got probably 10 other learning projects or training needs that need to be accomplished, to dedicate that time to, like, man, how do I make a game in itself? This is something else that I found incredibly helpful, and it's really helped me get over my fear of, my, what is that, my LECTORA phobia, or my man, I don't think I have time to dedicate and I do a bad job making this accessible kind of thing. I think this is really going to be beneficial to you. So first things first, you can see here I've already have Mountain Panic loaded here in LECTORA. I'm on LECTORA desktop. You can get to these in two different ways, both in LECTORA desktop and LECTORA online. Let me bring up LECTORA online. So if you go into your ELB portal here, launch LECTORA online, and then over here to the right, you've got your accessibility game right here, Mountain Panic. The other way to do that here is when you open up LECTORA desktop, you can go over here to tools, and you can see here I've gone to my asset library. Let me go back here. There we go. Let me refresh it. There we go. Okay, since you have it right here with course starters, you can view all, and as it goes through, it's always when you start sharing stuff that this is what happens. There it is. Okay. From there, you can go through and see all the other different templates you can import. We'll go ahead and search. Panic. I see this option here, and then I can install it as a library object. When it does that, you can see now it's over here. I'm good to go through our step one. Step one, import Mountain Panic. Any questions on how to get there?
Oh, let's see. I don't think there are any questions on downloading that.
Okay. And then Rakesh, I see your question, and I will get to it here in just a minute. Well, I can stop and answer it now for a second. I don't know. I'm still learning at this point, but that is something I can take back and get you more information on. From what I'm seeing, I downloaded, and again, this is being from 0 to, hey, I'm in front of you good people, showing you how to do this. I use a NVDA as a screen reader, and that's what I'll kind of show, but definitely I can look into that for you as well. Okay, back to it. So the second thing we wanted to go through is step 2 is LECTORA has this amazing feature that you can set up the WCAG settings that's going to cover a lot of what you need to review or what makes your course accessible or your game accessible to begin with. So from over here, I'm going to go up to my design tab and then go to project settings. And you can see here, I have my standard stuff. I've set my language, and then I have this checkbox right here, use web accessible settings. And with that, now I get this option to adjust my focus color. And what that is, if we want to, we'll do this. Nice and easy to see. So now, if I want to go to, let's preview this in Google Chrome. Look at that. You just made focus color in 10 seconds. And that's a huge thing in web accessibility for everyone. And to me, this was an aha moment within my first few weeks here of, wow, I didn't know it was that easy to do. And that's it. So from that, we've tackled focus color. Let me bring this over here. And along with focus color, so that is part of the WCAG settings that come in, is over here is skip nav. So when I think of skip nav, I'm thinking, or what pops up first in my mind is I'm going to skip. It's just going to automatically transition through to the next slide or to the next page in our training here. And excuse me one second. So I'm thinking it's something like that, a flow, but for someone that's using a screen reader or assistive technologies, this is what's going to help us get them to the main content of the page. So if I see beforehand, before I had my settings there, when I imported this template, it's going to come with these skip navs. And what skip nav's going to do is it's going to allow you to tell this link right here. Okay, let's go over here. So on this current page that we're on, this Mountain Panic title page, I'm going to scroll to what? Well, they really don't need to know. They don't need to see the skip nav. They really don't need to hear the background. So if you're thinking a screen reader reading this out to you, they don't really need that. The first thing they need to see or hear when they get to this page is the title. And so we can do that. So now when they land on this page, now when they land on this page, it's going to take them straight to hearing that Mountain Panic title. And then the next thing would be the instruction button. That's the other part of what we'll go to is reading in tab order. So if you can see here, I'm going to start NVDA real quick. And if you haven't heard a screen reader before, and if I stutter through talking over it, please forgive me. It's still I'm getting used to it myself. So, but it makes a whole lot of sense when you have it, when you're using it to see what other people, to put yourself in that shoes and what they're going through, or what they are actually trying to accomplish, or what we're trying to assist them with. So let me open up NVDA. Okay, can everyone still hear me all right? Just a quick, maybe a thumbs up.
Troy, we can hear you. We didn't hear the screen reader.
Okay.
I think you might have to stop sharing your screen and then reshare it with the computer audio checked.
Gotcha.
Because I know that everyone's day will be so much better if they get to hear the robot talking to them.
Oh, as I'm
meeting controls window, desktop Windows ML source, live transcription,
yes,
closed captioning.
Now we hear it.
And enabled.
Perfect.
Press F6 for more information about who can.
So
position indicator. Ready menu.
You can imagine.
Toolbar. Mountain Panic. NVD.
So
from Jonathan Lapp to all panelists. Mountain Panic document. Clickable button start.
So as you can see, let's try this again.
Click search tabs menu button sub menu.
So when you're launching this course for them and they're taking this course, and again, we've just previewed this in Google Chrome. As you can see, we're going through tab
Toolbar,
order.
Address and search bar, Mountain Panic document, button start.
While my focus went to the start button, it's still red, and I'll adjust it here for it to see everything. But it went to the title. So for my assist over my screen reader, that skip nav took me, instead of reading background and all these other things, it read the title and then it went to the start button.
Searched LECTORA project.
And I'm going to stop
desktop
that.
Windows MLs. Okay.
Okay, everyone still with me?
You bet.
Perfect. Oh, yeah. So the robot can be overwhelming, which brings me, to our point of reading in tab order and some other things that the WCAG settings that we enabled earlier have enabled us to do. So if I go to here, say on my background of my page here, and I go to properties, what that has done, or what these WCAG settings have done, and it's something that just blew my mind, is it goes through and for decorative items, so as something as a background, or what am I listening here, elements you would use to make a header or something like that. That will be, you can press empty alt tag, so that won't be read by your screen reader. So that in itself, the template and the WCAG settings, that handles it for you, so you don't have to worry about, oh man, you guys saw how overwhelming it can be if it's not set up correctly, or if you're going from screen to screen. So making that learning as logical, and then at the same time as clear and concise for the user, is amazing that can be done in a couple clicks with LECTORA. Moving forward here, we'll go through and let's see. So does anyone have any questions on skip nav, reading, or tab order?
It looks like we are good right now. Okay. But everyone feel free to put your questions in the chat or the questions panel, and Troy will answer them to the best of his knowledge. I'll answer them to the best of my knowledge, which is even less than Troy. And then if we don't know the answer, we will find the person who does.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the good thing about, I'm kind of learning this with you guys as well, and being new and coming back to LECTORA, realizing it's so much easier than I thought. And, it's a disservice to it. The circumstances dictate what tools we can rely on, or not even rely on, but we can use in the moments and stuff. And now that you have time to really look at, or myself, look at what LECTORA can do for not just you, but your user audience and these and these instances and these training things, it's something that I'm coming to a big epiphany about. All right. Let's keep going here. So we'll go to this game intro. Oh, let's see. Oh, it's kind of close that one up. Get this stuff here. All right, let me go back here. So game intro, and if we go through, we have hidden text, something hidden text that was explained to me. So say you've got a lot of things here, and for a screen reader, what it'll do is, depending on, you want to see here, our reading order determined by our HTML text type. So with H1 being the most important, so this is a way to set the importance of what the screen reader is going to read. So having gone through this, the screen reader is going to read through all of this, but then also too, when you get down here to something like this graphic, you can hide text behind this graphic. So if, let's say, I'm going to click over here to the side. Let's insert text block. Text to explain. And what pressed too much. There we go here. Oh, too far. Text block 4. There we go. And so what I'm going to do, if we go to properties, okay, we've got to make sure that is not selected. And then the next thing we're going to do is make, oh, sorry, there we go. Change the background, or change the text style to white so it's more transparent, or you can change the opacity to being transparent. But if we move that over here, put it right there. So that's where that goes now. And what we'll do is we'll also set this, oh, where I go here, to 6. So that way we at least know it's going to be the last thing read. So if I go through my tab order here. All right, so I've got my focus here, but as the screen reader comes through, as we saw earlier, based on our WCAG settings, and then now, if you want to use, say it's not just this image, but say you want to use a bigger image and not really have a whole lot of text on the page. While you still need text some for people that need to focus on reading, you also, can have these complex diagrams be read by the screen reader, and then it still be in line with your focus training content. So with that is just something that also, again, thought was just incapable of being done, just because I'd never taken the time to look at it and realize just how easy it was to accomplish. So the other thing, so we've gone through, and guys, one of the best things about this template is it comes basically out of the box, ready to go. All you need to do is mold your content around it to where you have a game right here. You change the instructions, you can change the pictures to be what you want, but the flow and the content to make it, or the parameters to make it more accessible, are already in place for you. So now it's just really almost drag and drop. It's select and replace now. What I want to get to, though, so we can open up for a little bit more questioning, is the accessibility checker. The accessibility checker is something that it's something I haven't seen before. And so with that, let me go up here to tools, and I go to accessibility checker. So this is going to check your training against these parameters, these compliance issues with section 508 and then WCAG 2.0. When I do that, it's going to give me all of these, hopefully it won't give, it's going to give me all of these errors. But as you go through these and learn, it won't be as difficult for you, and your trainings will have less and less things to that will pop up. But having said that, it makes it so much easier to change and learn what you need to do. So I run it through, we build our first compliance game here. Mountain Panic's ready to go. I run it through the checker, and I'm just all over the place, not sure what I did wrong. This is an okay way, or this is the way to check yourself to fix it. So if I go to here, course title text, let's go to that. So instead of having course title text, I'm going to put Mountain Panic here. And also, one of the things that it's going to that's going to affect your screen readers, or the way it's going through this, is if a lot of these items are set to always on top. So with that, it means it's going to be the first thing read. You might go through here and change your skip navs, and everything looks great. But as we go through this, we'll check that one off. Let's go here. You can see now it brings me to this instance. Oh, yep, always on top is still on. So I'm going to fix that. Let's see, let's click done. I'm going to save. Let's run the checker again. So now I can see those two are gone. So we're making progress. Instruction button. All right. What do we got to do here? It's set to always on top. So a huge thing that the first time I turned on the screen reader was I kept hearing that the next buttons would be first. I keep hitting, action button close or action button next. And it was because a lot of the things that I had for action buttons were set to always on top. So I'm going to click that off. Let's go through the rest. So let's see, how many do we have here? So let's go through this first set here. And you might think, again, as I did, I have messed up so horribly. What have I done? I can't fix it. Oh, this was a bad idea. I shouldn't have said we can make this training more accessible. I don't know what to do. But with a few clicks that what we've done, imported a template, applied some settings, 3 or 4 clicks, and now we've run it against an in tool checker. We're taken immediately to the problem areas that we need to address to make it more accessible. And so now I can click done. Let's run the checker again. And look at that, we're going right through. So that is something I've struggled to see and find in the different tools that I've used, where it's you might get an error message or just a like, hey, that didn't work. But it never before you have so many options to make your content as valid and as checked and as vetted as possible with LECTORA that I maybe took for granted with other tools. And that this web accessibility has really opened my eyes to even that as well. So let's keep going through. Just want to see what it looks like. Almost through. While I'm doing this, do we have any questions?
So far, so good.
Cool. Stay with me, stay with me. Oh, this is when I need dad jokes. This is the time. Now everyone's ready. And this is a lot of the thing I had loaded this one ahead of time. It was a different AU up there, but it's important to see that.
We do have a question. Is it possible to select all of those and get rid of them all at once?
It doesn't look like there is within this checker, but if I go through here, oh, here, hold on, let's get done with the checker here.
Probably LECTORA doesn't want you to be lazy and ignore all of its warnings.
Right. Hold on here, let's see. Save. Okay. Let's go back to game intro. Okay, so let's try that. Let's select a couple different close buttons. Oh, wrong button. Nope. So if I do it on the same page, so I can uncheck if I do buttons on the same page. Let's see, let's try it. Yeah. Once I go off a different page, then it's not going to it doesn't look like it lets me.
You just got to go through them one by one, I guess. Make everything perfect.
Make everything perfect. But for someone like me, one page is better than none. There you go. Thank you, Jonathan. But one thing for me, and I know it happens with all of us too, with creating content, again, the business needs, especially now, are so fast paced. Projects are turned around incredibly fast. To get people trained up on things is challenging in itself. That there's always iterations that go back and forth of, hey, we missed this. Hey, we missed that. Hey, oh, this link doesn't work. This helps you, at least from an accessibility thing. And what I think is truly valuable from my end is it's another layer of validation that I've done my due diligence, and the course is going to be as final ready as possible by the time it goes out. And the bonus of that is it does it very quickly. So let's check our tool one more time. Look at that. We're good to go. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let's publish. Just a few things there. Oh, and I'm sorry, I moved pretty fast there. That's my fault. So a few different ways you can publish. You've got this option up here, and then also it's right over here as well. I'm going to do it this way with web HTML, just so we can go see again what it looks like with the focus color when you tab over. And as you're going through this, one of the things that really, I'm sorry, I keep saying one of them, the last little thing that really brought it to my attention of how I could make this more accessible and what kind of connected these dots on these settings and then the document itself and the guidelines is, let's preview here, is just unplugging your mouse and turning it off and seeing how easy is it to get through your course. So here we can see I've got start. I will not, for Jonathan's sake, turn on the screen reader again. And so let's see, let's start Mountain Panic. Again, I can just tab through. I'm able to go through. Again, in the back side, you're going to hear the screen reader read logically or the way you have ordered based on either HTML text with your text box there, and your tabbing order on the left-hand side in your Project Explorer is going to determine how things are going to be read and then also flow through. As you can see, I missed it again. There it is. Same thing with quizzes. You have to be able to go through a quiz. So you click that. Let's do that. Tab over and submit. Uh-oh, I'm getting stressed. So let's tab. And that's it, guys. It's one of the things I wanted to show and demonstrate. And one of the tasks I've undertaken here with LECTORA is getting over this you know, to me it seems like a silly worry that I had, 10 or 11 years ago, that I really can make something truly different and in our time and our day and age truly accessible to everyone within 37 minutes. And really LECTORA and ELB Learning can give you all this package together and let you just be you and let you make the template or the web accessibility game with Mountain Panic more gauged towards your environment, whether it's I don't want to say office panic, but there's truly a bunch of different things you can do to where now it's really just as simple as changing some texts, changing your images, and then just updating questions to meet your style. You've got a fully functioning web accessible template. That's pretty cool.
We do have a question, Troy. Can you play through the game once or twice? Maybe the first time with mouse clicks and the second time with the keyboard voiceover enter key, just to show how it works?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will also dig up the link for this in the template library, and I'll share that in the chat. So if anyone wants to download it and play around with it themselves, it'll be there.
Let this go through real quick. And so let's preview it in Google Chrome. So this is the clickable way. Go through, you can click the start. And as you can see there, the web accessibility doesn't come up. You're using your mouse. Here you are on a 2-week backwoods backpacking excursion. You go through this, and so instructions first. You're starting with this adventure with 50 stress points. So mountain panic, it's a series of events that happen. You're lost. You're going out on this backpacking trip and you're lost. You get more lost. And so depending on these other situations that occur when you're, and there, Stephanie's put it in the chat, depending on your answer will determine which way on the scale you go of chilling like a villain to where you're keeping calm, everything's fine, to where you're stressed to the max and, about to be eaten by a bear. So those are your two options, and how you answer these questions will do that. So we'll go through this one right here. You've been climbing for a while and have gained significant elevation. Can't pinpoint exactly why, but you can't shake the feeling that something isn't quite right. Your muscles tense and your tension rises as you begin to wonder if you may have veered off your planned trail. So what do you do next? Let's see. Anyone have any suggestions? We'll open this up to the group.
Oh gosh, everyone,
type in a 1 for this answer, a 2 for this answer, or a 3 for this answer.
I must say I'm very impressed that we have a satellite phone in this scenario. Go us.
Right? Like, we didn't plan on getting lost. We were ready for everything that occurred, but I got a 3, I got a 1.
Yeah, we've got, all right, 2 votes for 1 now.
All right.
I say 1 is the winner.
1 is the winner. Let's do it. Stop, catch your breath, check your phone to confirm your location by satellite, and make a plan. Oh man, that is nice. All right, good. As soon as you know where you are, you make a plan. So our stress level went down to 40 from 50. Let's go next. Your phone is not where it should be. So option 1 didn't work out so well. You pat your pockets, you can't find your phone, it's no use. Your heart races as you come to grips. Sorry, and I've been reading to my elementary school son a lot, so sorry if it sounds like that. Your heart races as you come to grips with the gravity of your situation. You're lost. So again, guys, what do we do next? 1, 2, or 3?
Realistically, definitely number 2, but I'm pretty sure that's not the answer. You get us 6 points. So
I should have made this multiple select. Choose all that apply. Let's see. Yep, 2 for sure. Casey with 1, 2. All right. Next answer gets it.
Everyone else is just lost.
It's just lost. 2. Jonathan makes it. Oh boy. You try and forget about your lost phone. Deeper fears begin to hear. You know you didn't pack all you poorly packed. 0 stress points. So you didn't get more stressed. You stayed the same amount of stress you were.
I mean, a good cry, sometimes.
Yeah, everyone needs a good cry. All right, last one here. So we'll do build a fire. Hey, brought us down to 30. Let's do another one here. Oh, more stressed. Let's click through. All right, our score was 30. So try to beat your score. And then you just go back through the scenarios again. If we want to, here. Let me do this again. Let's go back to the start. Okay. Is everyone ready for the screen reader?
I'm emotionally preparing myself now.
Good.
Welcome to NVDA dialog. Welcome to NVDA.
Okay.
So Mountain Panic. Clickable graphic stage background. Mountain Panic.
I didn't have.
Heading level 1 Mountain Panic. Clickable button start.
Oh, so I forgot already. I can tell. I forgot to hide something up here.
Stage back. Game intro. Clickable graphic stage background. Mountain Panic. Here you are, 1 week into a 2-week backwoods backpacking excursion. Your pack is loaded with ample provisions. Clickable instructions first, please button. Instructions, Mountain Panic. This is the hidden text to explain the chart. Instructions.
See?
You are starting this adventure with 50 stress points. At each challenge, read the clickable mountain panic, clickable close button. Challenge Q1, clickable graphic stage background, mountain panic. Heading level 1. You've been climbing for a, what do you do next? Stop to catch your breath. From step, push harder so you can reach the summit faster. Radio button checked 3 of 3. Take a quick rest break. Then challenge Q1 document selected. Take a quick rest. Push harder so you can reach the summit faster. Radio button checked 3 of 3. Clickable submit button. You keep trekking upward, thinking you'll soon clear the tree line. You keep trekking upward. Okay.
All right. I hope that was beneficial. One of the things you can do too. So again, within 35, awesome. Good deal, Julius. One of the things it's really beneficial. So within this, we've gotten this accessible template off the ground and running. We can still go back. So if we start seeing things we don't like or hearing things we don't like let's go back to our questions here. So if I click the radio button, there's properties. There's always going to be two if for some reason you it's going to read the radio button to you. This can also be a good way to drown that out. So let me see if I go to, where is it here? Radio button. Oh yeah, that's where it's going to be. Let's go to the quiz. Let's go down to choice button. Oh, there it is. Okay. One thing you can do here, test and survey buttons. Under the test and survey tab and properties, let's go to radio buttons. You can also change these as well to help bring focus on that as well. There's one more thing I wanted to check. And then alt text for radio buttons, you can change this as well. Option 1. And then that's what will be picked up to read. So I wanted to get one last little tidbit in there, but within that, you can now, NVDA is free. Free tools are important as well. So that was free if you can deal with the repetition as you move back and forth. But you can see now within under an hour, we got a whole better grasp and understanding of how we can make a pretty accessible game. It's not impossible to learn or understand. And the output you can make for somebody, you'll never know the impact you have until you make it. And so I go back and think of all the previous L&D roles I have where largely is based in heavy equipment. So I think of different technicians or that may have been hard of hearing or vision impaired or something of that nature, to where, man, I could have made so much more accessible training for them instead of being the person, at the other end of the field office that's frustrated that they're not understanding or they're not getting it. When really it's just a click of a switch here, or a check of a box that LECTORA can bring so much more to that end user or that employee's experience in their training. Let me see here. Well, that is what I have for you today. I hope it was beneficial. And thank you guys all for your patience with me and my twangy stutter that I get through as well. But the main thing I want you guys to get out of this is the tools are out there for you to make very accessible content and to be a hero. And it's right there, and it's a few clicks. It's not, like I say, you got to get over that stigma and that phobia that I can't do it because, man, it's complicated. It's really not. It's really something that's right there at the edge of your fingertips.
Thank you, Troy. That was great. I shared a link in the chat to a recording from our last ELBX Online. We did a whole bunch of sessions on accessibility, and Diane Elkins presented specifically on screen readers and how to optimize your courses for screen readers. She goes through like every step, and she shows it in each authoring tool, LECTORA, and those other ones that we shall not name here. So that's a really great resource if you want to really dig into screen readers and making it the best experience for your learners. I also, as Troy said, I posted the link to the Mountain Panic template. So you can download that, you get all the source files, you can see exactly how we built it, you can customize it for your needs. And one last link for everybody before we say goodbye is, of course, a link to get a free trial of LECTORA, the greatest authoring tool ever. If you don't already have it, you can download that, try it out, use the accessibility checker, practice all the things Troy shared today, and just make the best e-learning.
I put in one more link too. One more link for the ebook that helped me kind of gauge this whole thing. I put the link there to, it's the section with all of our ebooks that we offer. Down about half the page, it's Make E-Learning Accessible. And that book has really, it's a great how-to that helped me tremendously.
Yes, that is a really good ebook. We have tons, as Troy said, on there, all about VR and gamification, learning management, building accessible learning. Lots of great resources for you. And if anyone has any last minute questions, now is your chance. Type really fast, put them in. Otherwise, you can also reach us afterwards. Reach out to us for specific questions, and we will help you out as best we can. And thank you so much, Troy, for taking the time to present to us today. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your time with us this afternoon. Hopefully, we will see you all on a future webinar. Otherwise, have a great afternoon. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys.